It's Monday again, it's time for a new guide, and today it's about a core mechanic of the game, and I think most of us have run into the problems as a miner when you're having the time of your life and then your manpower hits zero. Even as a major country, this is not an uncommon issue, but there's a fix for this, and that is Trickleback. And Trickleback helps with two things. It helps with manpower, and here it's more powerful than you think and actually see in game. And there's also a special case here where you can gain almost infinite manpower, and infinite manpower is just fun. And it helps with your war support. And war support, you lose war support when you lose casualties. So the less casualties you take, the less war support problems you will have. But if we look here for the common thing and common way to gain Trickleback, it's by a field hospital. Now we're at 1942 tech, so it's kind of powerful. So 40% in Trickleback means that if you lose 1,000 men or 1,000 men dies, 600 men actually dies, 400 men gets saved and pushed back into the manpower pool. So in this case, 60% dies, 40% back to the manpower pool. So only here at 1942 with one field hospital, we will save almost half of our units, and half of our not units but men, and that's really, really good. But there's more possibilities here. If we look at Swiss citizen militia, don't care about the name. If we look here, we can go even higher. We can use helicopter brigades, which we gain through the experimental facilities. I have just cheated to make this a little bit easier. But if we go for this, we don't want to medevac. We actually want, if we want to push this up, want a field hospital, because you see medevac gives 49. Field hospital plus a helicopter brigade gives us 65 in Trickleback. And here you see things are getting interesting. Now we only lose 1/3 of our manpower when we're fighting. This will conserve our manpower in a huge way, and it's even better. I made a spreadsheet. I'm not sure if I'm gonna show the entire spreadsheet, but an interesting thing here is that the HP is also going up. So we go from 381 to 434, which means that we have more manpower and more hit points, a little bit more manpower, but we get more hit points per manpower, so we actually take even less damage. So it's not huge at these high rates of Trickleback, but these 65% actually goes up to 67.5%, so a little bit more, just because that increased hit points to manpower ratio. So really, really good, almost 70% there. I think can be better, but even just going up here at 65, or as it actually is here, 67.5% with the manpower to HP ratio, we can actually do a lot. So we have 6.4 million in core population. If we have these kind of Tricklebacks, it's almost like we would have almost 20 million in standard manpower. So we get 3 times more out of our manpower than is actually possible. And if we research, push this up even to 1945, which is, most game has ended by then, but you will see. Okay, cheat was on. Let's put in this and let's duplicate. See, so we're up to 75%, and with that little bit extra, so almost 77% of Trickleback, really, really good, and also fixing war support. But the really fun special case I found with Switzerland, and Switzerland has a really fun focus, and that focus is Spirit of Saint Bernard, which gives your field hospitals 20% extra Trickleback. So that 20% extra Trickleback will do magic. And here we are at actually 1945 tech, but with 1945 tech and that 20% extra Trickleback, we have Trickleback and war support protection up to 95%. Perhaps pushed to 96% even because of the extra HP. Uh, this is huge. This is what I would say infinite manpower. Yeah, you will take losses, but that's minuscule. That's so little. I made some calculations. We have a manpower pool here of 4.2 million. This would be equal, could be used as a manpower pool of 88 million. That's how powerful this is. It makes your 4 million work as an 88 million core population. And this also gives you, and I will make a guide about this, about experience loss, but that's also huge. So it's not just a trickleback, you gain some extra stuff here, some HP, and you also gain the war support protection, because you will not lose any troops with 95% trickleback, which means you won't lose any war support from it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel. We release one new guide every Monday, or a podcast guide version stuffing every Monday. So every one Monday guide, one Monday's podcast thing. If you want even more, consider being a Patreon. You gain one extra guide every second week, and a lot of other stuffs and Discord connections, things. You can talk to us and other amazing Patreons in the Hygge gaming community. Rambling as always, let's continue with the guide. But if we go back a little bit, and here we have 1939 tech, we also have the helicopters. What I've tried out here is just a little bit of different combination, and I would say what I like most is actually having a field hospital and a helicopter brigade. It's a little bit more expensive. You see we're at 1800 now. 1846 in production costs, but we get 40% trickleback and better experience loss. We also get more HP, because you can't combine the helicopter medevac with the helicopter brigade. So if you have a helicopter medevac, you can't have the anything else of helicopters or field hospital. So it's a good thing, since you only have one instead of two. You gain a lot of the same things, but you're getting less trickleback, and also experience loss is a huge thing, and also HP. So if you really want to go high on this, you need the field hospital and the helicopter brigade to gain that extra HP. You see almost 10% extra hit points, more trickleback, and also experience loss, which is really good. It's more expensive, 1846, to having just the medevac 1773, so a little bit more expensive, but more HP and less experience loss. So I would say there's also fun, always a lot of fun support companies, but if you want to game this and do this as good as possible, make that helicopter brigade field hospital. And also, since HP goes up, so in this configuration it says 40. I need to just check my spreadsheet here. That says 40, but it actually goes up to 44.4, while just going to this with medevac says 37. But since it doesn't have that increased HP in the same manner, it's just 38.6 in total of trickleback, or less manpower losses, since the HP is not going up. So 38.6 versus 44.4, it's not huge. If you want other support companies, yeah, the helicopter medevac is great, but experience losses, as I said, I will do a guide about this. It's kind of important. And for the war support part, that's not as huge, I would say. We look at the combat casualties here, giving us minus 2.3%, a weekly minus of 0.01, which is not huge. We have taken kind of a beating here, 6% killed. We don't have the units I showed you before. This is just crappy starting units, just to show off how the mechanic works. But we will lose war support, and of course we don't want to lose war support, but there's better ways to actually increase war support, and I would say trickleback. So for me, trickleback is a manpower issue much more than a war support issue. But why not? It gives you less debuffs of war support, so it's a good thing. But that's not why I would make units with high trickleback. That would be to conserve manpower, to play as miners and conquer the world in a fun way. And something I really want to see is someone playing Switzerland with 95% Trickleback, actually conquering the entire world with like 5,000k losses or something like that. 5,000k, 5k losses or something like that. Just having absolutely 0 losses since the Trickleback is that amazing. But that's another thing. And the way it works, if you have 95% Trickleback, 95% of these minuses will be nullified because you wouldn't taken those losses. So if you have 50%, 50% of this would be nullified. So it's kind of easy how this works. And Switzerland is getting killed in the background here. I hope you enjoyed the guide. I hope you actually play a little bit more with Trickleback and hospitals and everything you can do to lower your manpower losses, especially as miners. And yeah, we release one new guide every week, or either a guide or a vodcast guide. Both are kind of guides. So every second week is a guide in this format, and every second week me and Barrier sits down and talk about a subject or mechanics or something found with Hearts of Iron 4. A new DLC is coming up. I'm really stoked about that also. And yeah, I think that's it. See you guys next time.